Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to War for the Overworld. In this video we will be looking at the latest DLC for the game, which brings with it the inclusion of one of my favourite elements from Dungeon Keeper 2. The last video I did for this game, it was sitting on patch 1.4. Well, now we fast forward a bit and we are sitting on 1.6. And there's quite a few changes I've seen already in the game. However, I'll be simply looking at one of the new additions in particular here instead of the entire contents of the last two major patches. The idea being that this review is about the DLC pack, that being My Pet Dungeon. The idea behind this style of gameplay is to have a more relaxing experience. You create the pace of the gameplay, which I find to be very refreshing after some of the main levels in War for the Overworld, which basically force you to speedrun through them. In this DLC, you are given 8 new maps, which are loosely done in the style of a campaign. The objective of each one is pretty simple. You must acquire a certain amount of points to finish a level. Points are granted at a slow pace for killing heroes, and just hollowing out the land around you to make your dungeon. To get a big boost in score, you must complete set objectives per map. As you can see from this clip, this is the very first pet dungeon. In the top corner, on the right side, you will see the list which changes per level. So here we have simply control all the creature portals for a large sum of points, for example. On each map there is a lovely new addition, although I have to admit it is quite oddly named, which is the Toy Box. This is basically a sealed off room with a collection of heroes in, which you can then pick up and place wherever you like. There is also a spinner in the same room which lets you adjust the level of the heroes. So you could effectively finish one of the objectives on the first level pretty easily once you unlock the torture chamber. 10 heroes being tortured and converted worked for the objective, which is pretty easily done. The second addition is a hero portal which you cannot destroy. You can spawn waves of heroes from it. It has a few different settings related to it, such as spawning a single wave, or non-stop waves which increase in level as they come forward. Again, it simply lets you play the dungeon however you see fit, which is something I have enjoyed very much so far. So, let's head over to a slight disappointment I have towards this DLC. The fact I was a Kickstarter backer and I have to pay for this is a bit of a slap in the face. You do get to play 2 of the 8 maps for free, however. The first one, honestly, in my opinion, being a lot better than the second map, but still very enjoyable with a few puzzle elements, which I did not expect to see in a game like this, and it's a welcome addition. With that being said, you are typically looking at paying just over a £5 for this piece of DLC. I will likely pick it up myself for a few reasons. Firstly, I love Dungeon Keeper 2 and its pet dungeon system. I could spend many hours in that game mode and enjoy it, making the dungeon as big as I liked. So there is a bit of nostalgia there. The other reason for it is that from what I've seen from the 2 free maps that they let people play on, it's just straight up fun. It adds a new element to the game for you to enjoy. Bright Rock Games have done a fantastic job with this DLC. From someone who usually hates on DLC, well, I don't really know how much sway that has, but yeah, I have really enjoyed this so far. One final note is that this game has been released for some time now, I think just over 2 years, and they are still churning out updates and quality of life improvements for it. I find that pretty admirable. Some indie studios these days, more often than not, release a game, release a couple of updates, and then it pretty much becomes abandonware. It's great to see the devs still caring about this game. My hat goes off to them for it. Lovers of this game will find the DLC a very easy buy-in, no doubt about it. Well, I'm going to finish the second level of this now, and then probably look into purchasing the DLC to see what else they've hidden in the other 6 maps. I guess it's time to slap some workers. I'll see you next time.